on a... Brothers and sisters, we're gathered here today to listen to a young man that's on fire. You're sitting in the church of the Reverend Charlie Murphy, and I'm going to bring it to you, the brother F-A-B-O-L-O-U.
All right. Welcome.
What the fuck is up?
Welcome down, guys. It's this is a very special edition of church, coming live from Off the Chest Studios.
Is it Christmas?
It may as well be, because instead of our typical Sunday morning gathering, we are here for a midnight vigil, somewhat like a midnight mass.
It's like Thursday night football, only Thursday night church.
It's like Thursday night church ball.
Very close.
Okay.
So, anyhow,
that's there's no priest in here, but that would be.
You know what? We are back from a sabbatical. We took something of a Sabbath, extended Sabbath, 2-week Sabbath.
Is that what it was?
We'll get into what it was. We will get into what it was.
Why would we ever do that?
You know what? I think you have some answers.
Those questions will be answered
I think
today
you have a very good explanation.
In our very special second segment entitled President Powers Goes to Jail.
Well,
I got to... Oh, never mind. I'm fucking all right.
You know what? Let's not give away too much. Let's not give away too much. For the record, this is not a hologram. I am free at last. And I want to shake some of this rust off, because I feel like it's been a minute. I want to get right into the news. All right, there's been a lot going on.
Even if it was a hologram, they wouldn't know anyway.
What about you?
You know what? The order is still there.
You know what? We snuck a camera into the jail cell, and he's Skyping from the prison cell right now.
Sean's street credibility went through the roof with that.
You know what? Glass ceiling
was actually
jeez, man.
Granted permission to enter one of the hottest bodegas in all of Straight Path.
Yeah, and you know what else too? When I got out, someone said to me, it was like a mistaken identity. You know, I didn't, I gave it up. But I was walking out, and someone goes, Max B, and I was like, turned around, and they're like, oh, my bad, I thought you were Max B.
Everybody always does that to you.
It's more now, though, more than ever. So,
it's
ow, free wave.
And first off, if you can't get into the Crown Chicken on Straight Path, then you didn't accomplish nothing.
Oh, come on. You know,
they revitalized area. Big shout out to Wine Dance. They built some huge, ridiculous townhouses.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Deer Park has fallen to shambles.
Well, we got the outlets.
Right, exactly. We've got the outlets.
It's Deer Park City now.
You know why I like Deer Park? Because you could find a nice house for like $150,000.
I'll tell you, man, it was like... Cause,
what, 1965?
Oh, no, you got to fix it up, but you can find it.
Well, yeah, there's like a drug bust every 4 months over there.
But if you go to Huntington Station, which is a much more crime-ridden area, the houses are $300,000.
I lived over there as well. It's cool. You're like naming all the places I've lived, just like the highlights of the island. Very presidential.
Well, the good part of Huntington is that one strip has everything. It's not like
the whole island's overrated, to be honest with you.
I agree. I was up north.
Really, very, very little.
I was up north this past weekend. We went.
You know how I feel about that.
We went hiking in Minnewaska Lake.
Minnewaska
Lake. Yeah.
Where's that?
That's a little bit north of New Paltz.
My spiritual guru and frequent sex collaborator is doing like a nature retreat this coming weekend, and I'm very jealous as well. So,
are you talking about your significant other right now? Because the way you put
I believe I framed who it was pretty accurately there. That was my spiritual advisor and frequent sex partner.
She's your spiritual advisor.
So that also
I speak to her about a lot of my my inner chest.
So that also means she's your personal stress reliever.
Along those lines.
Because every time you skeet, you release a little stress off the chest. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe on the chest. Could go either way.
I'd high five you, but you're Skyping right now.
He's like mystified by the fact that he's like,
oh no, you should
shaking his head.
Uncle Charlie, you should have heard this dope lyric that he kicked on this song.
Oh yeah, you would have loved it. We're gonna be dropping that. We're gonna be dropping that new flavor pretty soon.
Loved it.
Shout out to Cool Keith, provided the inspiration for that Powers Large, another rapperation, which we'll be discussing that pretty soon too. But look, let's get into the meat and potatoes. There's been a lot of stuff going on. The news.
Let's keep our hands in our own pants, okay? We don't have to be talking about
not that meat and not those potatoes.
Can I first start off by saying I absolutely cannot stand how close Struggle is to me this week.
Well, I'm not letting you hog the camera this week. Every time you
Struggle is like nice to push back. And now this week he goes, you know what?
I wish we could get. I'm gonna have to compile some sort of a weekly complaint file from Charlie about something
every
here.
week.
Same guy who takes his shoes off. Look, and also for those people at home, you can't see this. Not to say that it's my studio, I should have the best chair, but by default, Charlie has the best chair in the studio, just there. That's mine. No combo. But he's got the most to say about what other people are. He's like that guy, like taking up both armrests, going like, "Yo, move over."
We already established a few episodes back that he's transabled, so that's why
that's what it is.
The rolling chair.
That's what it is.
Actually,
what can I get you to make you more comfortable?
You need another beer?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. I love this fucking kid.
It's
what?
Tough.
I want to just.
You're very brave wearing that hat too, by the way. Considering that they've been the worst team in the NBA since 1994.
I thought it was
that's the worst team in the NBA.
I beg to
They're pretty bad sometimes.
Listen, I went
longest losing streak.
Before I went in for my, my stay. I remember there was a lot of political chicanery, if you will, going on, and there was a guy, Donald Trump, who was running. Now I assume that would blow over by the time I got out.
No.
So I was mystified to come out of jail after however long I had been in there. And to see that this guy was still out there, and he's even raised the stakes a bit. You guys, did you see that he was referred to a black dude at one of his shows as his African American?
Oh.
Yeah, I actually did see that, and
I saw it. Yeah,
I can't say I was at all shocked by it, to be honest.
Dude,
with you.
I'm going to put the clip because people who haven't seen this.
In his defense, I mean, I don't think he meant it like that. He's just not much of a wordsmith.
He really wanted to say.
He wanted to say "my man."
Hold on. Give me a second here. Hold on.
My N-word, but then he's like, you know what?
Yeah, really?
I'm just going to go with my.
This is the problem.
I want
to address what you said because this is like one of those things, though. Like you're saying, he's not much of a wordsmith, right?
He's not very
okay, fair, fine. But
okay,
this is a guy who's running for president. Those kind of like little word things, you do that in like a foreign, like whatever meeting.
How quickly do you forget we had George W. Bush as president for a year?
But he wasn't president. He really wasn't the president.
Trump's smarter than him.
But I don't think Bush even spoke at any of the meetings they had when he was president. He just sat there and shady did all talking. Anyways, I want to watch this clip because this is to me.
My dad owns a ranch.
The fluidity, yeah, right.
He was pretty epic personality.
First of all, I have to do this. I've decided I never give up my
family
grudges.
owned the Texas Rangers,
I'm not the kind of person who gives up grudges, and I never will let go of the fact that George Bush's whole cowboy persona, I want to remind everyone, was completely made up. He was a cheerleader at Duke. He is not a cowboy. He literally...
How did he get into Duke? How come nobody figured
that out? How did he get into Duke? Same way he got into office.
No, you cannot have an 86 IQ and get into Duke. You can't be two.
If you're like a legacy,
you can't be like 2 IQ points.
Dude,
pass retarded.
What are you going to do? Be a legacy.
It doesn't make sense.
Legacy. That's it.
He wasn't. No, his dad didn't go to Duke. Did he?
I think he did.
If he wanted a legacy,
well, maybe because his dad's presidency was complete dookie.
If he wanted,
how about that?
If he wanted a legacy, he should have followed his dad's footsteps.
Let's
help kill the Kennedy.
Let's take a look at Mr. Trump here. I'm gonna let this.
Shouldn't say that out loud. I get the CIA will be in my house.
But wait till you see the end of this clip and how he congratulates himself on one particular supporter. Watch.
And I see it. But the thugs last night in San Jose, and then this Democrat mayor gets up. He said, well, I think it was Donald Trump. You know what I say now? When we have a protester inside, which isn't even very often, I say, be very gentle. Please don't hurt him. Take care of him. If he wants to shout, if he punches you in the face, smile as your nose is pouring blood out of it. Be very, very nice. We had a case where we had an African-American guy who was a fan of mine. Great fan. Great guy. In fact, I want to find out what's going on with him. You know what look at my African-American over here. Look at him.
See, this is the thing. He doesn't even...
Property, bro. That's how he's looking at it.
Oh, well, first off, look who you're getting this information from.
Well, it's not getting information.
Well,
it's
that clip
is... it's a clip.
It's fucking Jank. His name is Jank.
I don't even know what that is.
Jank.
I don't check any of my sources. I want to be very clear. I check zero sources
that
ever.
Guy right there,
I just play videos of actual things. I don't listen to any
Turks. I know who they are. I've listened to them before. They're all dumb.
Are they turkeys?
Do they have anything to do with Janko jeans?
No, it's spelled with a Y, I think.
Yeah, no, they do that so you don't know though.
But it's Jank.
It's like Janko.
I think his name is spelled with a Y, I think, so it's really Yank, but it's Jank. It's kind of like Boner.
I'll give him something.
It's kind of like Boehner's name is really spelled Boner, but they called himself Boehner.
So you don't think that there's...
Actually, I got no problem with the Young Turks. They're all right, but
Let me ask you a question.
They're a little too far.
They look more middle-aged than young.
What in God's name is going on that there's this dude who's now calling people by African American? I mean, we're not talking about like the first slip, but there's a guy who said a lot of things that are clearly on one side of the fence. Like, are we just not? We're just like, what? Like, no one's going to give a shit about that? I don't understand. Like, how is this?
Look,
people get so up in arms about like the most ridiculous things. And like some guy's just like going, yeah, my African American.
He's captivating an audience. That's what he's doing.
He's trying to captivate something.
He's an entertainer, number one. First and foremost.
Really comes down
that's the criteria.
What it really comes down to is nobody's writing his speeches. He's not. Most of these politicians have speeches prepared by somebody else who's good at words.
It just sucks that he's being judged by the lowest common denominator, which is the current political system that we have. Like I was saying, we spoke earlier about this.
Yeah.
I'm actually cool with, and I actually embrace the idea of having a businessman in charge of our country because we're kind of a business more than a country. It makes sense. But I feel like Trump is like the cartoon version of a businessman. Like, if you were going to get a real businessman in there to do the job, it wouldn't be fucking this guy.
But you know what? We both know the problem is the system's fucked. So just put him in and watch it implode, and let's start all over.
But why not put like a bear in, or just like a jaguar? Why not just do that? Right? No?
I mean...
I have no idea. I don't know what to do anymore.
A juggling monkey?
I don't know what we're going to do.
Entertainment.
A little hat on his head.
Captivating. Apparently these are our criteria. Captivating, entertaining. I think that would be both.
We're totally fucked. Let's just face it.
So this is the circling of the drain, and we just may as well enjoy. Buckle up. Head between the legs.
Look, maybe Hillary gets indicted.
Listen.
Maybe she gets indicted.
Hillary, that's the other one.
I'm going to be fine because I took one of these survivalist tests, and I got an 86, and other people took it. They're like, I'm coming to your house. I'm like, yeah, you better do better.
For real.
This is what happens when you go into nature and you learn shit about outside.
Yo, I'm like so happy I can go to the garden and shit.
I wouldn't eat that if I was you.
Yeah.
Don't eat that.
For real.
I know how to get fresh water.
I know
how to make a lean-to. If you don't know what a fucking lean-to is, go look it up.
Yeah, I can make a lean-3. So
I can make a lean cuisine.
Yeah.
So all three of us are like good.
Well, I'll be fine.
All right. So now that's out of the way. I mean, what else is going on in the news?
So this is real. Now you want to talk about some real beef. You familiar with like the streets and like how shit works out there, Struggle?
His name's Struggle.
Yeah, I guess.
So
we'll say something like that. It's been a long time.
Not too long ago, there was unity in the ice cream world.
Oh boy,
it's a cold world.
Yeah, it's very, very cold world. And there was unity until fighting within. And what ended up happening was some of the Misty Softy drivers, they kind of went rogue and formed New York Ice Cream. So now New York Ice Cream basically is old Mr. Softy trucks painted with a new logo.
Who's got the song?
New York Ice Cream. No, Mr. Softy retains the song.
So
they
then
still have the song.
It doesn't matter because it's all about the song.
But there is...
That's a racist song. Nobody should be playing that song anyway.
That's true. I heard that. I totally forgot that until you said it.
But here's the thing about New York Ice Cream. They got 34th Street to 60th Street straight locked down in the city.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, so
like, Mr. Softy...
Okay, so what's going to happen is Mr. Softy's going to come out with a bunch of beer bottles.
Right.
No, what ends up happening is Mr. Softy tries to go into that territory, and New York Ice Cream is like, they're like the rebel forces. Like, they're fucking, like, live.
They pull out assault
and they attack. They come.
Assault codes.
Dude, it's insane. There was a driver quoted. I saw the interview.
Wait, hold on. Doesn't Mr. Softy have a thing called the two-stage rocket?
I have no idea.
Oh, son, they better watch the fuck out.
I've always
New York Ice Cream is not ready for the two-stage rocket.
I've never had a Mr. Softy in my life.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Unbelievable facts. Number 2.
I think he's lying.
I've eaten so many fucking
I definitely think
Softies.
he's had a Mr. Softy in his mouth. I definitely think he has.
Definitely
That's
not.
a double, bro.
Definitely not.
been licking it down.
That is fucking gross.
This guy is a fucking disgusting animal.
To the wall with that one.
Oh, just
I go,
thinking
put his hand in the mouth. He's had a Mr. Softy in his mouth. He goes.
Ugh. Now I think you're just a straight up creep. I'm a Christian guy.
So
I've been known to drive by school.
So these guys are going at each other now. I mean, is there...
Well, here's the deal. This is what the guy was quoted as saying.
I pick up my son when I work at school.
You don't know this business, man. There's a bat in every truck. Like, it's real, bro.
I'll tell you the truth. A bat in every truck is actually going light. I have been under the impression there were like kilos of heroin in every ice cream truck.
That's what you're coming with?
I've never seen an ice cream truck with a driver that looked anything less than disreputable. Like, it's such a weird... Ice cream trucks are right up there with Santa Claus as far as like disappointing things that you realize. And like,
actually,
I used to think it was like a great person that was driving that thing in life as a kid. Check this out. You turn 12 and you start looking at the guy and you're like,
check this out.
I want this fucking cone right now.
Apparently, according to the Marvel Universe, Santa Claus is the strongest mutant of them all.
I don't even know where to start in dissecting that.
That is...
That's like layers of made up right there.
I'm just telling you how I heard it.
Wow. That's a pretty interesting fact.
Folks, if you have any questions or concerns about Struggle's breakdown of Santa, you can hit us here at www.otchess.com, your one and only source for the aerial explosion.
Bobby Brown allegedly got raped by a ghost. Or no, I'm sorry, mounted. Mounted by a ghost was the words. That he woke up and he was being mounted by a ghost. Now, I don't know if it was the ghost of Whitney Houston.
I can't imagine that if you're gonna have a maybe.
I mean, that's that's shit. That's something that a Ghostbusters right there. Didn't
that
happen at Dan Aykroyd?
Hold on. Was he awake? And the ghost came in, or he was sleeping and dreamt?
As far as I heard it, he was asleep, and he woke up, and the ghost was mounting him.
That's just a wet dream.
When you smoke crack, a lot of things can happen.
Either that or I've been fucking ghosts for years.
Sober when that happened. Oh, he was sober.
Okay, so either that's a wet dream or I've been fucking ghosts
crack for a lot of years. Sometimes you get like flashbacks, and you go right back to fucking ghosts.
Do you have a confession to make?
Oh no. No, like same thing. Like you take too much acid, take too many hallucinogens. I say like
I'm going to take it at face value. I got to be honest. I don't. Why would he make that up? Is my question.
I don't know, but the news reporter that like
he gains nothing by telling people that.
Kind of was just like, well, you've had a hard life.
See, that's what I mean.
Like, she didn't even question about it.
See, this is the thing. Maybe that didn't happen, but I believe he thinks that happened, and that counts enough for me. Like, that's like, that's not a lie.
I guess nowadays people think they're cats, so they...
That's what I'm saying, right? He identifies as someone who had sex with a ghost.
So he's been raped by a ghost.
That counts for me.
I guess it's just as good as being probed by an alien,
Right. I see no issue with that. That's totally cool with me. Peace to Bobby Brown. Glad to see you.
Or he just needed some money, so he just had the most...
But why would you go with that? That's what I'm saying. Like, I believe that he
at least he'll be on the cover of the Inquirer, and somebody will pay him for it.
Summer's upon us, and of course that's full chest weather. And
yes.
Besides all the fantastic stuff we do inside of this beautiful facility here, my man, the controversial figure that he is, Uncle Charlie, was actually out on the beach doing some beach things. And you secured a pretty badass interview, I got to say. You got some good footage of a dope show.
Yeah, it was great. It was for the St. Baldrick's Cancer Foundation. It was down at the Venetian Shores in Lindenhurst. Great band, Exit Verona, doing some charity work. They sounded great. It was a sunny, beautiful day at the beach, and I was able to do a little bit of an interview.
You got an interview with them, right?
So absolutely.
We actually have that. Mr. Matt just gave it to me a little while ago. I saw them playing. I saw that part. Super badass. I mean, they're kick-ass. Shout out to Exit Verona. I'd love to have you guys down in here sometime.
Well, Charlie, we're here for the St. Baldrick's Foundation, which is for raising money for children with cancer. Yes, thank you, Danny. Pediatric cancer, and we do a lot of these gigs. Anything we could do to help these guys raise money to find a cure, we're happy to do.
Nice. Yeah. And how long has it been around, this foundation?
That I couldn't tell you. Probably longer, a long time.
Well, I believe it's like it's a huge foundation. Then people create their own little sub communities,
yes,
within it. Because I think Ben and Vinny have been doing this.
Ben Kimmel and Vinny Lupinacci that run this particular one. Yeah. They do a couple every year, and they always ask us to play, and we're happy to do whatever we can to help these guys.
And you guys are Exit Verona, as I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mike DiFilippi, the lead singer over here. How long have you guys been a band?
13 years. 2003, 13 years. 2002, 14 years.
14 years.
14 years. I've been lucky to know this guy for 14 years.
And you guys are two of the original members?
Yes.
Yeah.
Page and Plant, right here.
Page and Plant, right here. Nice. So, what other gigs have you guys played? Have you guys New York City, local?
Mike,
Long Island,
what do we
Queens?
know, Mike?
Within the 14 years, I mean, we used to play in Manhattan all the time. CBGB's, which is now closed. Kenny's Castaways, which is now closed.
Yeah.
Great places that just
Elbow
don't
Room
exist.
now closed.
Elbow Room.
Sullivan Hall now closed.
The Lions Den.
Now closed.
It seems that we've closed out a lot of places. Since we played, they can't
They all
go
shut
on.
down.
They're like, no, we're done.
They hit the top, and then it's
So you guys are like the Black Widow of Death for any up in the.
Yeah.
So any venues who are thinking about booking Exit Verona, just grand
book
opening,
us.
grand closing, type of thing.
We shut shit down, man.
What's the future for Exit Verona? I think is the question.
We have an awesome new bass player, John Pangburn. The fucking kid is unbelievable.
Okay.
We stepped in shit when we found him, and we're blessed to have met him. And we hope to write new songs and keep going.
Yeah,
Keep jamming.
Is there going to be any new albums on the horizon?
Definitely.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. We have one in the can that we want to throw in the garbage can and do it again.
Yeah, especially now that we have John.
Now that we got John.
Redo. That's like our show in total.
Listen, couple of grand in the toilet, and then we'll do it again and do it right.
Good. I'm happy to hear it. Well, listen, guys, it was really nice if you come out, do this charity work, and I appreciate you having for Off the Chest Studios, man.
One more thing. Come see us 2 weeks from today, June 18th, at the Playland Motel.
Yes, in Rockaway.
We always play this festival called the Rockstock Festival.
It's a surf festival.
The
local
Playland Hotel.
Motel. But it's way nicer than it sounds.
Yeah.
It's way nicer than it sounds.
It's a sick new place on Rockaway
And
on the beach.
what do they play there?
Well, they're a motel.
It's
they're
like
a restaurant.
It's a hipster joint.
Right.
Do they offer hourly rates?
They do.
I don't know. You're gonna have to find that out with your,
If you're into it,
the element
they will give you an
associate
hourly
with.
rate.
I think the people just want me out so bad they just make hourly rates.
Right.
Dude, if we could do anything to have you not stay,
Yeah, right.
We'll create new rates. We'll do
you can stay for the day, but for you, 3 hours is enough. Give me $45 and you're on your way.
Get the fuck out.
See, yeah.
Well, listen, guys, I appreciate you. This is Charles, Uncle Charlie, coming to you from the Church Podcast. Tune in every Sunday morning, 11 o'clock. We're going to have new artists pretty much every week. So if you're looking to sign somebody, I'm not pointing any elbows or anything. All right. Have a good one. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
To walk the line, body of a lead. Show the world how it is to be free. Nothing to believe, so you think that it's okay. This compression, it all has to end someday. Straight line, destruction leads the way. But I'm not falling, I'm not going underneath the wave, the wave, the wave, the wave.
Sean, let's talk about it. Let's really get into it. A couple weeks ago, now, we're going back a little bit. So we had the show lined up, Struggle. I don't know if you know. We had the show lined up.
Oh, okay. What kind of show?
Great DJ. Derek Ham, international DJ.
This is going back, what, 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and what kind of music does he play?
So
that show, yes.
So he's done gigs all over the place. He's going to be on the show. It's going to be great. We're going to have a good time.
Okay.
So he's there at the studio waiting. And all of a sudden,
it's going to be great.
What do? We find out that Sean is not at the studio. I'm telling Derek, hey, dude, just knock on the door. Sean, stays there a lot. He'll definitely be there, and he'll let you in. So, what do? I get a group of texts, and
it ain't from Sean.
It ain't from Sean, and I think it's time now that we could roll the footage, because...
this is why we were not able to shoot that episode. So, this is a little something...
Struggle has not seen this yet?
No, I haven't seen this footage.
This is a little bit of behind the scenes of why I was not here that day. Charlie... was so kind as to join Matt. I'll tell you this, though. No, I can say I can't stand everything relating to that whole complex, and I get all kinds of weird tingles in my ass when I get out. I'm like, I gotta get out of here, bro. I don't like...
What you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do. Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody now give you no break. Police now give you no break. Not the old soldier man I give you no break. Not even your eyes now give you no break. Hey, bad boys,
All right, it's your boy Uncle Charlie, and I'm here at Central Islip. It's 11 o'clock, and basically we're normally doing our normal church podcast at this time, but somebody went and got himself arrested, so I'm gonna let you guys guess which one of my co-hosts it was, but I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with residential flowers.
$80 on there, $76.
What do you need that money for?
To bail him out, and then we get it back.
Oh, okay.
Because a life well lived is worth examining repeatedly, especially by the police, because this is racketeering at its finest. Systematic racketeering.
Right. I gotta say, I'm on the side of the law on this one. I think Sean is most likely guilty, and due process of the law. So let's see what happens. We're walking in now.
I guess, to be fair, I guess we have to say Sean's the only one who can make this system somehow seem ethical.
So, your boy Uncle Charlie here reporting again from the
Court Complex here in beautiful Central Islip. Here with Matt, our producer.
Hello.
We are doing our best to bail Residential Flowers out of jail.
Give me the time of day, I'll give you the perp.
Way too much money for his terrible friend.
There's a man who just paid $500 to get.
Not sure what I get things. Couldn't.
So now we're here.
Tell you what.
We're on site waiting for Sean to come through.
Waiting for the president.
Those doors.
Presidential pardon coming through for himself.
Residential Flowers on the way out. Soon he'll be free.
Residential.
He probably won't want to be recorded.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm going to try to do my best for our fans out there. Try to get some, maybe nonchalantly.
Yeah, real street footage here.
Thank you. He's free. The president is free. How you feel?
Vindicated.
These were his friends he made in the clink.
Oh yeah,
How
we
you
had a
doing,
great
guys?
time. All of us who were just chilling in there.
Get a picture with us. Come on. We got one. This one will be for the. Let me get a still shot. Hold on.
You have no idea the person that turned out to be.
So.
Is she here?
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah. Where is she?
She's in the courtroom right now. I just got done talking to her.
Just thinking like I may as well just say it rather than find it. And the guy's just like, oh, okay, and just puts it in the evidence bag. I'm like, all right. Let's see. The next thing that I wanted to do, if it's cool with you guys, was I wanted to get into what's going on with sports.
That's
I know that I actually spent some time putting together a little bit of an intro for my man over here. He's been diligently working to be a very big sportsman, and even though the segment itself, I don't know how great it'll be. I got to tell you, this graphic that I want to introduce beforehand, totally worth it. So, without any further ado,
apparently the president is upping his portfolio.
Oh, that's what we do here. You know what I mean? I told you I've been collaborating with Bob Ross on some stuff.
Yeah, you've been sleeping with him?
Yeah. Well,
ghost sleeping with him?
More like collaborating.
Why don't we take a break and then we'll come back with sports?
Let's do that.
Stripe of fun, just a flying flip-flop, whoa, a fish-pop. Yikes, stripe, fruit stripe gum, a really wilder, a ton of fun a miler, flavor overloader, wow, loader. Yikes, stripe, fruit stripe gum, men from outer space, punk a pop in your face, fruity flavors in the pack, gooey gobble, pizza, yikes, stripe. Fruit stripe gum and bubble gum.
Folks, I'd like to take time this moment to discuss something that I actually been working on. As many of you know, in addition to being, a well-known, celebrity host of Church, the #1 rated podcast on the online internet, I'm also a well-known professional rapsman. And to that extent, I've been very busy. And during a lot of the mid-'90s, when rap was really flourishing and was a genre that you could be proud of, there were some policies in place at the time that prevented someone who was perceived to be a white rapper, kind of kept them from.
You're just light-skinned.
Well, that's the thing. But again, perception is reality. And so while I still was a product of hip hop, and I'm very much of it. My outward appearance oftentimes would restrict the kind of songs I was able to do. I'd wind up getting lumped on songs with like technical or something, because it was like When realistically, me and Nas, and this isn't me saying that, this is, how many people wake up day in and day out and they go, dude, life is cool, but wouldn't it be better if I could listen to a Ghostface Power song real quick?
Yeah.
And it's it's not just for me to have these songs. People need to have them. So what I did is I went ahead.
You should have been the one that really wrote Jesus Walks. That should have been you.
Well, the thing is, it should have been made with me in mind. In that Sean's going to get on here. Let me make this better. I can only imagine how much better some of these beats even would have sounded if they had that inspiration that I tend to provide for a lot of these producers.
That's what keeps me going on the podcast every week, brother. That's what keeps me going.
At the end of the day, right now, I have 3 real, full-length projects that I'm ready to put out. But because of, the way that reparations have been so overdue for these past mistakes, I decided to go ahead and, like only a white man can do, rewrite history. So now... a lot of your favorite records now are featuring presidential powers. And it's once people hear them, will they listen to the originals anymore? Probably not. So most likely, certain songs, will be known as presidential powers songs. And I think that it's the right thing to do, Not so much for other people, but for me,
Right.
And you can't spell America without me right in the middle. So... on that note, I look forward to releasing this reparations for everyone to really just take it in, enjoy. Hopefully, this becomes, the new biggest thing. And we could just, keep on giving back, until I'm actually in the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, you're just going to keep on keeping on, huh?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's...
Life's a garden, man. Dig it.
Hey, I've already been called Puff Daddy
It's a good dream.
at least 15 times in the last month. And that's just off of, physically how we look, So that's before even hearing the songs.
Max P and Puff Daddy all in one sitting.
Well, they're both Harlem cats, so we had that same swag. You know what I'm saying? We all just kind of had that uptown bop. You know what I mean? Quick to snatch your bitch and ask you what's good. You know what I mean? That's what it is over here. 139 in Lennox. You know what I'm saying? Danger Zone. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to. So, sports. I heard there was a lot going on with sports. Every time I turn on the TV, there's some kind of a fucking ball and, something else, whatever they do.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Well, a couple people died, passed away in sports world.
Yep.
Kimbo Slice and Muhammad Ali.
During the same game?
No, not during. It was actually...
Well, actually, they're both fighters, so it kind of... Yeah, but no, Muhammad Ali was a boxer and Kimbo Slice was...
Oh, Muhammad Ali, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
He's fucking... He didn't die like 5 years ago?
No, he's been alive. But he just now recently.
And here's another reason why.
How did he die?
Yeah,
he
Alzheimer's or something like that, and then
he had Parkinson's.
What's the difference between losing your fucking memory? It all sucks.
I mean, it's a huge difference. I mean, they do both suck.
Identify the disease,
I love how you censored me saying someone's name and then just went on to just fucking just shit on 2 major subjects. The
guy with fucking lupus over here is ripping people with fucking...
I love this fucking guy. Soto really gives no fucks. It's funny because when I first linked up with you, I was like, oh, this guy knows how to link up with a lot of different people because I met him at the radio station. So you got all kinds of personalities up there, and he's not lying when he says this is him off of work as opposed to on. Because you see, you at the station, you're very good at blending people's personalities and having a convo about whatever. And right now, you give 0 fucks about any of that.
It's because it's nighttime. I'm up at night. I'm a night owl.
This is the real struggle.
When you guys get me here at 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm like...
This is something else.
I'm tired. I'm ready to go back to
I got to keep beers on deck for you before you get over here. Fucking great.
Not even now. It's just because it's the morning. I don't function in the morning. I'm not a morning person. You get up for...
Really? Even though you do it all the time, you haven't found that you... I could see hating getting up in the morning, but I feel like everyone's sharper in the morning.
I do it because I have no choice. But I've been working nights for so long, and I became a night owl.
Yeah. Or...
You do it for 15 years, and you're up till 4 o'clock in the morning every day. Your time that you're actually alive is from midnight to 3, 4
Speaking about not being alive anymore,
Muhammad Ali.
So Kimbo Slice killed Muhammad Ali.
No.
What else?
No, but here's what I wanted to say about that, because this goes back to a couple episodes back with Floyd Mayweather. This dude's a piece of shit. I don't care what fucking Floyd Mayweather. He's a piece of shit. Fucking Muhammad Ali dies, and this guy tweets out R.I.P. to the second best boxer of all times.
That's
Go
fucking
fuck yourself,
great. I love
cocky
Mayweather.
fuck. You're like 5'6", 135 pounds. Ali would have fucking spanked your ass all across the fucking
Yeah, but
ring.
he just guaranteed that there's like another 13
Oh,
million
it's
in the
all
bank for his next
publicity.
fucking fight.
It's
That's
all
what I'm saying.
publicity and
But that's the
whatever.
game he's playing. And, you know, we just promoted the next fight he's having. We're talking about
You
Muhammad
don't have no
Ali.
fight. He was tired. He's not going to
He'll
retire.
have enough.
He thought he was talking about
He'll have
fighting
enough fight. If he
fucking...
makes comments like that, it means he's having enough fight.
He was talking about fighting McGregor.
Oh, I know sports I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yo, Brock Lesnar, UFC.
I know. He's back.
And he's fighting someone who's like legit, too.
You think he's going to win?
I definitely think Lesnar's going to win.
Here's the thing.
I believe
He doesn't
everything
have-
about Lesnar. I believe all the hype. I believe that he won the title with
He doesn't have
diverticulitis.
colitis anymore. He doesn't have
Diverticulitis.
Oh, I thought it was colitis.
Diverticulitis. And I believe that he had
Fucking
it
guy,
when he won.
fucking guy has a third grade fucking speech level, and all of a sudden he's throwing out words from the medical field.
Yeah, you know what? I graduated law school in jail.
You're talking about him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I graduated law school in
That's
jail.
why I'm looking
You
at
guys,
him
you make
over
it like I didn't
I
do
thought you were
anything in
talking
there.
about Brock Lesnar for a second.
Oh, no,
I was
no.
like,
No, this guy,
he's
I'm
pretty,
like colitis.
well.
This guy's like, no,
Diverticulitis.
testicular
Diverticulitis. Yeah, diverticulitis. You know
So
what it is? I'm not
spell that, bro.
Yeah, I can spell it.
Don't do that. Don't do
Okay, everyone knows.
It's like Rain Man when you drop the matches, 537.
It is like that. Honestly, I often compare myself to that because, like anything that's language related, I typically am very quick to adapt, or I'm very much that's my realm.
That's that alien blood.
But the second you put numbers in front of me, it's like you would really have a better shot with that fucking bar stool. As far as getting a real answer. I still have to do my hand thing for left and right when I'm driving and shit. I mean, it's like bad.
I do the same thing.
There's a few things that I'm like way behind.
Oh, left.
But I do think that it means that I am, like, you know how sometimes someone thinks they're good at something? I'm like, my deficiencies that are so glaring, like, are evidence that I must be very good at something else. Because no one is that fucking dumb across the board. I mean, like, it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Well,
everybody's
yeah,
on
it's
an
like
attribute
if you
system.
got like a real tiny dick, you're most likely probably pretty awesome at something else. Like the nature compensates for you, or you're really smart. For all we know, like
When you wear really cool T-shirts, yeah.
He got you with that one. I was waiting for him. I saw him winding up, too.
I was going to let
I was
him go.
surprised you kept talking because I saw him winding up. I thought you did, too. Nope. We're going to open it up to all the Chestonians out there who are watching church, tuned in every week. Thank you, by the way, for the increased support out
we
there.
appreciate that.
It really is noticed among the collective areolae inside of here. What's for you, Charlie? We have a lot coming up.
Yeah.
So we're going to be right back with a whole fresh another episode. It was great to be back, fresh out of jail, California dreaming, young Tupac in the flesh. Anything you guys want to say before I introduce this little last piece that I had filmed earlier in the week?
Struggle.
These two are just going to go fight, I swear to God.
No, I got nothing but love for Uncle Charlie. That's my
She's
man.
going to try to trip him on the
That's
way.
my man.
You guys don't know. It's going down.
Comedy show coming up 24th. Right. In Ronkonkoma, Diamond Club.
Is it on Saturday?
Friday night, 8 o'clock.
Now, I'm going to go ahead. You don't have to say this is true or not. Diamond Club, so obviously naked girls everywhere.
No, it's not.
Definitely there are. So
I
get down to the Diamond Club where there will be a lot of
Sounds
naked
good.
girls.
It sounds like there's going to be a lot of chicks there.
And also struggles doing comedy
Oh,
with
there
a
will be
lot of naked
chicks
girls.
there.
So yeah,
Because I'm going to be there, so there's automatic people.
even if they're not strippers, there will be naked chicks there because struggle is finna rock the mic.
Yes,
as they say.
Exactly. It's going to be great. We're gonna make comedy great again.
You already are. I got to tell you something.
Yeah, you really are.
No, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
I think that we have a beautiful thing going here, and in light of that, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that it's not always all roses. The shit that went down in Florida, I don't even want to get into it here, but one of the artists that I've been able to work with, Tara Hack, was actually down here the day of the shooting, and we were just talking, and it was kind of something that I was like, just get it on camera, the conversation. I love being able to get things off the chest and bullshit and do all this fun stuff. But like, there's a part of me that's like, I kind of I'm a little like, I'm very cynical and jaded about people. And when I hear things like a shooting, I go, yeah, that's what we're going to keep happening. Like, I'm very like, sometimes I'm like, when someone's talking about, we can fix this, I like to pick their brain because I'd like to maybe hear something that'll make me go, maybe we're not fucked. I'm going to refrain from saying if I've changed my stance, to be totally honest. No, I still think we're fucked. But Tara did have some real insightful stuff to say about it. So shout out to Tara for coming down here. And, of course, rest in peace to all the victims of what was obviously a shit situation. And if anyone ever thinks of coming in here doing anything like that, struggle will be waiting for you. Folks, it's been awesome being back. Chestology, episode 5 is in the books. We'll be back real quick with number 6 for that ass and for them tips. On that note, we'll see you next week. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Presidential Powers here, live from Off the Chest Studios. Typically a little more jovial, besides the fact that I am wearing a Zach Morris-esque outfit here. That was unplanned, as was today's tragic events, and that's kind of why we got together. I happen to be down here, and one of my closest friends and associates through the studio, Tara Hack, welcome down. I wish it was under a little better circumstances.
Welcome, Tara. Thank you.
But we got into a conversation on our own kind of about what happened today in Orlando, the tragic events and whatnot. And again, typically I'm not the one to jump in front of a camera about this kind of stuff. I'll be honest with you, I am not a fan of people in general, and this is why. I tend to think society as a whole sucks. I think that this scapegoating that we do here and blaming groups for things and blaming politicians as if they're not us. Like, dude, we're all one thing here, dude. It's like, this is the same asshole that you went to school with. But that's, of course. Anyway, I digress. It does not take away from the tragedy. So, the thing that when we started talking, I noticed that you kind of had layers of thought about what was going on, whereas I kind of am dealing with like a blind rage towards everybody right now. Yeah. So I was hoping maybe you could help shed some light and maybe, talk a little bit about what you started to get into. Why do people do this?
Right.
Flat out. Like, that's where I'm at with it. Why does this happen?
Well, you mentioned earlier, I feel like looking for a commonality in everything that's been going on. And for me, what I feel like is a conversation about guns, and I see both sides to it, and I stay away from that because like I said, I see both sides of it. But I think what the issue is, and I think the common theme here is mental health, and the fact that there is not a big push on figuring out, why do people do this? Why do people think this way? He's from an ex-wife said that he's very abusive. He displayed erratic behavior. He's had bipolar.
This is on record.
Yeah, no, this is from what news has been being reported and stuff like that. And if you look at even Sandy Hook, and it's mental health is what I think the issue is, and it's insurance companies. Why do we have a push of having this stuff covered?
Well,
why do we not,
if I may, unfortunately, I think I know the answer why we don't see that, and not to circle back to people suck, but
it's a common theme.
Here's the thing. We're in an election year, 2016. And two of the hot button issues that seem to get everyone's attention and get everyone to the ballots are terrorism and let's call it gay rights. Would that be a fair way to just phrase it under an umbrella for now? Because if you look at the shooting, it was they're calling it a gay club, right? To me, again, a little ridiculous of a name, my opinion. I went to gay club with you one time.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I could say as a straight guy, it's a great place to pick up girls. That's 100% fact.
Yeah.
So to me, there's no such thing as a gay club, ladies. For the mainstream mafia or media, I'm sorry, it tends to be a lot more tantalizing for them to lump things into one of those two hot button issues. So something like this, I hate to say it, but I feel that there's a certain I'd love to have been a fly on a wall in a newsroom today, because I guarantee they're tossing around, which agenda and how do we spin this? Was it a gun issue that we need to rile them up about, or was it a a hate crime that we need to address? They're not going to talk about mental health, because who's disagreeing with it? Who's disagreeing that we need work? That's not a hot button issue. No one wants to. To be honest, people don't even want to address mental health issues a lot of times in their own family, in their own personal lives.
I think that's the problem.
It's sad.
They don't want to address.
But I don't see this changing.
Right.
And that's the
Well,
part that
if you think
pisses me
about
off
it,
about
You
it.
have somebody who's mentally ill is not going to go if they're paying for something. They might not even go if they have it covered.
Yeah.
So if you have to look like that, I think it's like 1 in 4 people are diagnosed as bipolar. So if you have that kind of high number of people, and you see these issues going on, I think it's something to just address. I'm not saying that is what it is.
I totally agree. I think it's something to address. I think it's definitely something to address. I think it goes back even deeper than that. If you look, there's the tie-in to Big Pharma, as they call it, where they passed a law recently, I believe, not even 2 months ago, where it's legal for doctors to prescribe children as young as 11 Adderall. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you know of Adderall. It's a step away from methamphetamine. It's amphetamine tablets, amphetamine salts. You're giving 11-year-olds meth, basically, here.
The glorious field of psychopharmacology.
This is the thing. I know this from when I was 15. Well, this is the thing. When I was 15, 16 years old, I went to doctors, and depending on what mood I was in that day, I was diagnosed with a variety of disorders. Now, I'm not saying I'm the most, straight sailing ship in the ocean, but the fact is, these are medications, high-level medications, intense, stuff, heavy-duty shit you give these kids, with no long-term studies on the effects. Right. So not only are you putting whoever you want in, you're putting whoever you want on the shit. Yeah. You have vaguely enforced gun laws. You have a system that they do surveillance on everybody, so how do they even zero in on the people that they need to? I mean, it's like you cast such a wide net and you wiretap everybody in the country. How do you know which guy's beating his wife and which guy's... It's an insanely ineffective system we have. And it also, you look at the amount of... Again, I hate to say it, but you look at the amount of news coverage someone gets when they shoot one of these fucking places up. There's people sick in the head that are like, oh, well, I'll get on the news. You don't think that's out there? You're wrong. It's out there. There's people like that. Yeah,
the Boston Bomber made it on the cover of Rolling Stone, and it's this idea of glorifying these things. And
so what about this? Now, this is my question, Tara. Give me a reason why I should think this shit is not going to continue. I just feel like we could just pretty much pencil one of these in for every other month.
I think there needs to be a major upheaval, because if we're going the way we're going, it's not going to end. And I feel like if you're glorifying people who are doing these things, and if you're putting them on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, you're going to get that person who was never good at anything, who was the nerd at high, whatever it is.
Why isn't Tara Hack on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine? Is a more appropriate question.
Right. I mean, if you don't give people the credit for doing the good things that they're doing, and I think that if you give people the negative, you're breeding that.
Would you say, and you know what they say? We each have 2 wolves inside of us.
Right.
The good and the evil, so to speak. And they say, the one that you feed is the one that gets stronger.
Well, if you keep...
And if you keep putting this shit on television,
you're gonna feed the wrong ones.
I don't think it's a coincidence that, how many years... I mean, look, for me at least, I was probably, 21 years old when I heard about the Columbine thing happen. That was the first time I ever heard anything like that. So you figure, after that, it was like 1, 2 years later, and like a year later. Now we're hitting about one every other month now, right? I mean, I'm not losing my mind. We're hitting like a mass shooting every other month.
There's a claim there was something like 7 in the last week and a half or so.
Yeah, no, it starts there. I absolutely believe that it perpetuates more of these kinds of things, especially when you see the coverage that they're getting. The more coverage, it's just it's a cycle.
I want to throw a quote out there, and free association. Tell me what you think when you hear this quote. Every society gets the criminals that it deserves.
I don't even know how to take that.
Makes me think of Batman and the Joker.
Well, what I take from the quote is that, if you have a society that glorifies greed, you're going to have a lot of people that are impoverished. And you're going to get an angry, poor uprising. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get bank robberies. You're going to get this kind of... I think we have such a I'm going to say the word wrong. Persecutory?
Sounds good.
+5, if that's even a fucking word. Persecutory mentality and such a scapegoat mentality in this country. To blame groups, to ostracize groups, to essentially oppress. I mean, it really, there's no other way to... You put everyone in like a display case in this country.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you get this violent lashing out. You look at the list of people who said, hey, we're all one, let's get along. They're all dead. They kill them all.
Yeah.
The idea is to separate, divide, and conquer. And I think that's why you get these violent lashing out. I think that's why. I really believe that we breed people to hate other people.
You know what, I think you learn judgment as you get older. I don't think when you're in the sandbox playing, you're
Nope.
like, oh, this person's gay, this person's
I
black.
did not- let me
I have
tell
to
you
stay on
funny-
this side. You know, I don't think you think that
I'll
way.
tell you a
don't.
funny story. I did not know and could not, and I still really can't. Jewish people.
Right.
I don't care if this comes off as racist, because it's certainly not. I never acknowledged.
Just wait and see where you go
No,
with it.
because I know people who grew up in neighborhoods where there was I guess maybe a prejudice or against Jewish people, so they could recognize them. In other words, I couldn't tell a Jewish person from a non-Jewish person.
Right.
Most of them look exactly. We look very similar. Like
Yeah.
I don't notice any real.
Unless
unless someone is Orthodox Jewish.
Yeah.
But I mean, like in America, like around where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I know I'd be around people who are like, oh, that kid's Jew. I'm like, how do you even know that?
Why do you even care?
So
if you didn't
this
know
is
that
what I'm
and
saying
liked
is
them,
it's
then found it out
definitely a
and liked
learned
them,
trait.
There's a problem.
It's definitely a learned trait.
Yeah, that's
it's
a problem.
definitely a learned trait. It's not. There is none of that, and that's why I think like you can't say that we're not breeding people, because you look at the amount of hate-filled crimes that there are. It's like you can't tell me that we're not breeding that. It has to come from somewhere, and we always look around like it's coming from somewhere else. Like, where else would it be coming from? This hatred for each other.
The public school
I think
system.
at home too. You know,
Public school system
learn-
is the only thing that gives you a shot at getting along with each other.
No, that's
you
true.
grow up with people of all different. I'll tell you this: if I had $1 zillion and I had kids right now, I'd raise them in a public school still, because they need to be around people. You cannot hate black people if you grow up with a lot of black people around you. You cannot hate gay people if you grow up with gay people around you.
Yeah.
You cannot hate Jewish people if you grow. I grew up with everybody around me, and my general level of disgust with
You
people
fear what
comes
you don't
from a
know.
general disgust of people, not from specific races. Not even close.
It's certain traits. We hate people who don't work.
Because
hard.
I know
You
there's
what
good
I
and
mean?
bad
There's
in
certain
every
traits.
group. There's good and bad in every
Exactly.
group.
I don't like lazy people.
right.
That's not color.
Right. Exactly.
That's not
I don't-
sexuality.
Exactly.
That is, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? That is
Exactly.
absolutely.
I
it's
hate
a
people
trait
that just
I'm
go
not fond
along
of.
with whatever. Like I hate like those kind of people.
Yeah.
And there's that in every group. There's people who are the stereotype of every single group. That's why they became stereotypes, and people want you to apologize for pointing that out. You know, it's like, look, if we're gonna have a conversation, let's have an honest conversation. The fact that we can't talk about religion as being a big part of the problem in a lot of these things too. You're not allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No one will even have that conversation because it might upset somebody. But so we can't upset someone, but we're allowed to stand by and watch 30 people get shot.
Not even at this point. It's up to 50.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
49, 50.
So to me,
it's that many wounded too.
society deserves it in that way. Not the people, not the victims.
Right.
Our society deserves this kind of shit because we refuse to have conversations about the actual issues, and mental health not addressed. So then you're going to keep having this shit.
Right.
The fact that people are allowed to read, to claim a religion freely, that they're talking out loud about doing bad things.
That's not even religion. That's
It's not that we
extremist.
deserve it.
That's any kind of
Anyone, but you're hijacking religion
Yes.
in that case.
Yes. Religion's all peaceful. Base of it is, you know, if you think about it, is treat others as you want to be treated. That's I think
that's what people
you know
should take from it. There are a lot of
you're
other
gonna-
things that can be taken
you're
from it.
gonna pick whatever out that you want
Right.
to use it to go. This is why you should hate this.
And it's all
That's
man-made.
not
Bottom line is all of these books are fucking man-made. Okay, there is no way that there is any other... the books I'm talking about. The books are man-made. There is error in man, always. So the bottom line is, even if you read something that tells you this, and you want to interpret that way, the fact that you would preach hate under the name of anything is wrong. That's it. It's not... It doesn't matter you say this guy told you, the dog next door told you. Doesn't matter who told you.
Problem is the
hate
hate's
is
in the-
hate. It's bad. Get it out.
The hate's in the text itself, and that's where it comes from.
Well, that's what my issue is then.
The
You
hate's
need to put it
embedded
down.
in the writing.
Look, I'm not going to get too far into that because it's a whole other debate we could get into. I agree with a lot of where you're going with that. I think religion is one of the most dangerous things. I think personal religion and personal spirituality, I'm very big into staying in line with the universe. And I'm a very big believer in you do good, you get good, you do bad, you get bad. But I don't need a book to tell me that. And I get very nervous about people who are very adherent. Anyone who's very adherent to something someone told them, it very much scares me. You have an internal thing called a conscience. You know when something's right or wrong. If you need a book to tell you, you got issues.
I think the golden rule is just about the only thing you can and should get out of religion.
Absolutely,
anyway.
absolutely.
It's more or less,
do unto
what, 1,200 pages to teach you a sentence?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand
Right.
all that overhead, you know? It's a sentence.
Look,
Treat
yeah,
others how
personally,
you
the way I
wish
feel
to be
about, I don't
treated.
care
How
what
simple.
you believe. What I care about is the fact that you are
What do you
doing,
do?
you're morally correct.
Right.
And morally correct is treating
Right.
others in the best way that you can and how you want to
And
be
the way how
treated.
you want, it's so easy. You know, I worked in restaurants for years.
Yeah.
And one of the things they would always tell you in
Customers always
restaurants,
right.
not even that. They would say, you know what, well, you know what, if you did that, yeah. I didn't hear that one. But they said, always treat a customer like it was your mother.
Yeah, mother or your sister, treat I think you should treat every
But the
woman
thing
as
is,
if,
I'll tell you the truth.
As if you're talking
saying
to your
it from
as if you're talking to your mother.
Hearing
talking
that
to
so
your
many
mother.
times, though.
Or
throughout
she's
the years.
around hearing you talking to this person.
Well, you think about it, though, because it's a good rule of thumb in life, though. You know what I mean? Is like, you know, yeah, even your mom, there's going to be a line. But you should treat people in a sense of, you know, some deference that, you know,
of course.
You're someone that deserves respect and you have your own personal space. And
It'd be great
it's
if
not
we-
for
if
me
we
to come
pushed that.
running in your face with some nonsense that you didn't ask about. You know, it's like, just let people live. I am a big fan. Mr. Benjamin Franklin, the first coin, the first money in this country, had "Mind Your Business" stamped on it. It was actually what our first coins had. And
it was like the first,
the first coins we had.
I think in general, there's that time period of like with the founding fathers and all that, they knew what they were talking about. You know what I mean? If you look at
You know,
it,
they
like,
wrote. It's almost. I read that stuff when you look back at a lot of it.
Federalists?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you read it, it's almost like they're talking about us
You
now.
think it's
They're
now.
going like, they're like, guys, don't do everything you're doing right now.
Exactly.
And you could just trace the way we scratched shit out over the years. Like, no, we can do that.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's
It's
as if
so
it's like
short.
a Nostradamus thing where you're like, wow, this is like, I feel like this. You wrote this yesterday.
What
How
did
are
I say?
you?
Anyone who doesn't study
You have
history is
the same
bound to
problems
repeat his
going on,
mistakes.
because
You know
we
what
are
I'm saying?
absolutely repeating it. If this is from the.
I think about that a lot. There's a lot of little things that I see happen culturally that I'm like in shock that they're even happening. Like, I mean, in a not so serious way, text messaging was one that caught me off guard. Like, we already had cell phones,
Right.
and then they came out with text messaging, and it took off, and that never made sense to me. It's like it takes longer to type it and then send it and then wait for a message back. If only there was a way where I could instantly connect to this person. Oh, wait a minute, we already have a phone. Like, why am I not just calling the person?
Yeah.
I was surprised that it took off like it did. But other things, the bathroom issue that's going on.
Yeah.
It's like I'm blown away that this is such an issue. That, like, dude, again, just don't treat people like assholes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Easy, very easy. First of all, the fear mongering that they start with. That, like, all of a sudden there's going to be all these, like, predators climbing out of the ceilings to fuck your kids.
Yeah.
Dude, take it easy.
So I read someone who was like, you can go into the bathroom with gay people.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
Like,
newsflash.
the same people that do things are still going to do them.
Yeah.
The same ones who don't are still not going to.
Right.
It's like drugs. They say they're going to make when they want to make things illegal. It's like, dude, if they made heroin illegal, if they made heroin legal today, how many people are going to start doing heroin? Very few.
This is the
Very
thing, though.
fucking few.
This is the thing, exactly. Guns and all these things that they're saying, you should take guns away, you should take guns away. Criminals are going to get guns.
Take the guns
It's
away from
not
all the
the
people who have them legally, so only the criminals have them?
But
you fucking sick, these
you
idiots.
understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that, I mean, and I was hearing about this before, a security guard who had a handgun on him. And I'm not saying I'm for or against it, I'm just posing it as it is and telling you why I'm critically thinking about this. Like, I don't know, and I'm trying to figure this out. But he had a handgun on him. If he didn't have that on him and wasn't firing on him, would the damage have been worse?
This is what I'm saying.
Did that slow him down? Did a
And this
couple
is-
people get out? That
I
went
say,
down?
what about
You know?
with the schools? I say it about the schools. I'm like, why don't the teachers have guns in their
Why
desks?
don't the security guards
I don't.
that are securing the schools? I don't understand
the
that.
whole-
And I don't know, because then you have the argument of, well, this guy was a security guard. But, so, you know what I mean?
It's a slippery slope because this is the thing. And again, it almost
It's
is like the
just
NIMBY
morality.
thing, like not
It's
in my
just-
backyard kind of thing. Where
You
when
know?
it's your situation, you want all the tactics available to you. But when it doesn't suit your needs, so like people don't want the guns there until there's a shooter. Then they want the guns there. Then
Exactly.
well, there's too many guns now. Again, this is what I keep saying. It's society. The guns are not the fucking the variable.
It's the person holding
The
it.
person is the variable.
Yeah.
Like, They make it as if the guns just go running around shooting people.
Right.
You know, like you put the gun in your desk, you go watch TV, and all of a sudden, where's my gun? Oh, is it out there shooting people again? Damn it! That doesn't happen.
Right.
It's like
somebody who's mentally disturbed who wants to do something like
I
this.
think the populace is mentally disturbed. That's the problem.
Whether it's with a bomb, whether it's with
they're gonna do it.
Anything.
Look, they do.
You just need
You'll think I'm crazy. You think I'm crazy. You could save a lot of money very quickly on airplane security, okay? You put one armed guy in the back of an airplane. No more security scanners on the way in. They're going to put a bomb anywhere they want. You search this suitcase to put it in this shoe. You search this shoe to put it in their ass. There's going to be a bomb if they want a bomb, okay? The problem is you need someone with a gun looking around the cabin. The second the guy makes a move, he blows his fucking head off. And there won't be too many more of them. They're searching everybody. How many bombs have they found?
They do.
I would love to see a total of how many bombs they found. Scanning people. And you go to get on an airplane. I'm sorry, I'm getting hyped about this, but it really upsets me because I never did nothing on an airplane. And I go in and it's like, you gotta wait on a line, then they gotta touch this. They don't even know what they're doing.
I did one of the stupidest.
I'll tell you the truth. I got on an airplane with a marijuana pen on accident. I forgot I had it in my jacket.
Yeah.
I walked right on with that fucking thing, no problem, right? That could have been something, right?
Right.
It helps.
So it's like, what are you even fucking doing?
Not realize you have it on you. You walk in with the confidence of not even realizing it's there.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. The agents that I've run into, pardon my whatever, they didn't seem like federal agents that were catching every little hint either.
In between texting and updating Facebook
That's
and
right.
Snapchat.
Yeah, exactly. They're all heroes, right?
They're heroes.
Okay, we're all heroes. Like I said, I think the whole thing's a fucking waste. I think that there was never any safety to begin with. I don't know who got it into these people's heads that there was this guarantee of safety all of a sudden. Like I said, you put someone with a box cutter to try and hijack an airplane that I'm on, they're going to have to slice me and 3 or 4 other people. I don't understand why people are sitting there waiting for someone to save them.
It's funny that you say that because I'm curious about that as well. If we taught people this, I was having this conversation yesterday. If you teach people to act, if you put that in their minds.
We are 3 of the thinnest people in this country,
you understand what I'm saying, but
asking them to act is directly against the prime directive lately in this country.
People, and you got one guy, listen, we're going to die anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
We either rush this guy or we die.
I never understood.
Someone I was talking
and you know what? Everyone says, I'm glad you're agreeing with me on that, because a lot of people, when I say something like that, they get very deferential to the victims, and they say, oh, don't say that, Everyone says that. Everyone. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything about the victims. I'm saying if you're telling me you're going to fly this plane to a fucking building, why in God's name would I just sit here waiting for that? Kill me first, then. Right. You're going to have to kill me on the way down, dude. Right. I'm not shitting on the people who didn't do that. I'm just saying.
I feel like you're taught that. You're taught to
give
them what they want. You just hostage to
wrong.
Give them what they want.
Someone tell. I always say
tell me to get in the car with you, I'm as good as dead anyway, so I'm right. You could shoot me leaving you.
We were taught that.
I
think that it has to do with, again, the way the education system is. I'm going to keep pointing back to society. Yeah. You're trained to just, yes, okay. Whereas if you were raised, our generation is a couple of years maybe removed from this complete pussification, but there was an element of, you probably got in a fight at some point in the street with a kid. And you did have to know to not eat that berry off the tree. Yeah. And shit like that. And you learned it from watching the other kid eat the berry. Yeah. And break out in a rash. You had to learn stuff. Yeah. Now everyone's just like, oh, the guy with the gun said sit down, so I'm just going to sit down. What?
He said he's going to let us go.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Where I'm from, where you're from, No. I'm going to need to see some more credentials, buddy. Okay? We don't just passively accept.
Yeah. It's not a robbery. It's a temporary wealth transference.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
That's like I said. Through it.
Now, though, all you have to do is hand someone,
everything's gotten kind of
a coupon on the way out, and they'll say, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a coupon for your next flight. Oh, okay. I'll just sit here. Bye.
Yeah, I think that's it's just interesting to me. I don't know what the reasons are. I'm not saying anything bad about people who've been in that situation. You fear, panic. I'm sure, you know what, you say this now, if I was in that situation, I might also be like, holy shit, okay.
I hope that more people like you say what you're saying about the mental health. And like you have a platform, your music is out there, which by the way, for those who haven't, www.tarahack.com. But you have it on your platform. Even some of the content on your music, you're very aware of what's going on. And we can only hope that there's the proliferation of that.
Right.
To, at some point, maybe start equaling the proliferation of hate and bullshit and just complete chaos. It's a crabs in a bucket mentality that they pitch at us. And I'm glad to at least have a foot on the right side of the argument. Being able to have a conversation with you and say, look, some of this stuff people don't want to hear and they don't want to maybe agree with it, but the system is fucked up right now.
Yeah. I think it's the idea of just even like you said before, just to go back about the different races and different things, it's just being able to laugh about it in a lighthearted, not evil way. There's a difference between me telling a joke and you can tell that there's evil intentions behind it.
Absolutely.
You're just trying to say how you feel,
Absolutely.
but trying to be like passive about it and be like
Absolutely.
a jerk,
Absolutely.
or just being like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I do that. I absolutely love that. I absolutely, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a tough.
I'm a quarter black. I love watermelon. As that, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
whatever it is,
Sure.
Whatever it is. Like,
I catch a lot of
quarter
heat.
in me is,
I
is
play
love
with
that.
race
Whatever.
a lot. I personally think the racial conversation, I think, is such a mockery of reality in this country. Like, it would be a whole other conversation for me to get into. But there is such a clear difference in how you are handled and treated in this country if you are light-skinned versus dark-skinned.
Absolutely.
And I just leave it at that. And it's
Absolutely.
There are people who find that to be a controversial statement.
No, that's absolutely true.
So
you
again,
don't think that you're getting
right? Oh, I know
treatment?
it. There's a reason why
You can
presidential
walk around-
powers raps.
You can walk around with 8 heads in a duffel bag, and you would not get stopped in the city. I guarantee you. Switch up your appearance. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very.
You're getting
I'll
frisked
tell you,
every corner. Like, let's just.
I could
it
point
is what
out
it is.
so many examples, and for the sake of 7-year statute of limitations, I'm going to go ahead and not. But there are quite a few examples I personally experienced that there's no question, and the same is said for I think any other minority group. Maybe not as visible as skin color, but if you're not of the quote unquote ruling class. And
White
what I
male.
think what happened, but this is the thing, and this is this is the thing. Right now predominantly, right now in this country, predominantly, but that even is waning off in the sense of white is the same as black if you're poor. Now, like that's starting to be a thing. Like history-wise, you can't change what's happened, but white people seem to have this like indignance, like that they're like better than black people. It's like, dude, you're in that same fucking boat of broke motherfuckers who ain't in that club.
Yeah.
I love how you don't like black people when you're getting fucked just the same way.
Yeah.
Like they don't get it. They don't
But
get
it's
it.
just a way to be like, well, there's somebody worse.
If you're
You know,
not
you
in
have
this,
to have that
it's crabs in a
mentality.
bucket. It's
Yeah.
crabs in a
Well,
bucket.
there were.
Meanwhile, they're getting richer. They're taking more, and they're just giving less, and you're taking less, and it's a mockery. It's an embarrassment. And like I said, I personally am very, very happy and very proud to be completely removed from the whole thing. I have absolutely zero faith in any of this getting fixed. I'm very much a disciple of the George Carlin school of thought. I make no bones about it. I think that it's a shame, obviously, that he had to leave us. This is a circling of the drain, in my opinion.
You find a lot, I feel like, of just realness in comedy. If you ever look at really good comedians...
There's a lot of truth said in jest.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of truth said in
Louis
jest.
C.K. has some really good jokes that I feel like are also
He's
very,
another
like,
descendant of that tree of George Carlin. There's a few of them. And
you're
his
kinda
view...
like, yeah, because that's the way to present it to people. How do you do it? Through humor.
You can't... Well, this is the thing. You have to get people to think about it.
It's spoon-feeding the pill in the applesauce.
Me and Matt were talking about this in the car the other day. The definition of comedy, or what makes something classified or quantifiable as comedic, is that you have 3 elements, 4 elements, however many elements there are. All of them are in alignment. They're all of the same proportion, except one of the elements is way out of proportion.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it funny, okay? Normally, that's the joke. That's the embellishment. The crazy thing is in our life, reality is the fucking thing that's completely out of proportion. So, like, reality is the joke right now.
Right.
The fact that you can say you have an event like what we're talking about in Orlando, and you see what they're talking about as the coverage, that's a joke. The tragedy isn't a joke. The coverage, the way it's handled, the way it's treated, the way that society reacts to it is a joke. It's so out of proportion with what should be the appropriate response.
Yeah.
And it's like, people will get mad and they hear someone say this is a joke. I'm not saying the tragedy is a joke. That's fucking dead serious. It's awful.
It's a shame.
But it's
You
an
need
absolute
something like this
joke.
to open
If
your
you
eyes.
think that you're going to learn something from the news, other then
It's
more.
shit's bad out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do
You
we
don't
fix
gotta
that?
watch TV for that.
How
You
do we
need to
fix
talk
that?
to your kids.
You don't learn a thing from watching.
You need to
TV.
talk to your damn kids. You need to
I
fucking.
think that's the problem. I think news now is being told as this is news, and it's not. It's not the same as when
No,
Edward
sensationalism.
Murrow and
It's
it's an
sensationalism.
editorial. The editorial is taking something and an opinion-based feeling, and then using a bunch of these facts here and there, cherry picking to then back up your
100%.
opinion.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly. And that's not news.
No.
News is going. This is what happened. This is how it is.
When you have
what do you
three
think?
channels in a row, you have 3
news.
channels in a row.
Yeah.
Right? When you have 3 channels in a row, 24, 25, 26. So you got MSNBC, CNN, and Fox.
Yeah.
Between the 3 of them, you could have the same fucking story that just happened. The 3 of us could walk into this room. And depending on which channel you watch, you'll be watching a completely fucking different shade of events.
Yeah.
It's insane, okay? If it was fucking MSNBC, it would be like, you know...
There's a picture that says it, you know, like it's Obama drinking a Pepsi. And it says, you know, NPR says, Obama enjoys a nice, refreshing Pepsi. And then it says, CNN, you know, Obama takes a minute to decide that he wants a Pepsi. And then you get down further, you know, save you the time. Fox, Obama declares war on Coke by choosing Pepsi.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
It's
okay,
perception.
obviously you're trying to sell
agendas,
hard. We get it,
yeah.
you know.
I'll tell you this.
For-profit news is fantastic.
It goes right in line with the for-profit
Go
prisons.
for-profit things.
Goes right in line with the for-profit prisons, which is, again, a huge part of this epidemic, is that there's no, going back to your mental health concern, there's no interest in fixing it, because then how do you keep people pumping people in and out of the jails if everyone's cured and everyone's better? They need people to go in the jails because these are privately owned companies that own these jails. How do you be a privately owned company? You have shareholders. You have shareholders who, in order for them to invest, they need to see a return on their investment. So now if you send people to jail to be rehabilitated, that means they don't come back. If they don't come back, your company loses money. So obviously these jails have an interest in people going to jail.
Well, that's another thing too. There's no reform. I think that there should be
there's
reform.
none.
Sometimes it's worse.
But this
It's a
is what
worse
I'm saying.
environment.
You and
than
I
is
can
it,
say that.
You know?
Tara, look at it this way. It's you and me are 2 regular fucking people, right? I mean, granted, we're both really good-looking celebrities, but you know, for the most part, we're regular
really,
people.
really ridiculous.
And I'm lucky to be here.
Yeah. You know, apart from Matt's luck and our great looks, apart from that, you know, it's like.
just radiating.
Apart from that.
I probably
if you and I
can
can figure this out, if you and I can figure out that there needs to be reform, if you and I can have these kind of conversations, of course the people that are in charge are capable of having them. But there's no fucking interest in having them.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
So for those of us who are interested, like I said, once again, thank you. I gotta wrap up. I gotta get the F out of here. I have a limousine. I'm supposed to be involved in some exclusive training. I'm actually gonna be fighting a new war on terror myself. More on that another time. But
if you keep running so we can vote for you.
You know what? Someone's got to run in this country. A bunch of fat fucks. Sorry. For those who didn't hear it the first time, www.tarahack.com.
Yes.
I know you have new music on the way?
Yes.
I do, yes.
How long do we have to wait? I heard what you guys are working on. It's fucking incredible.
We'll keep working on it.
You heard it too.
Better.
You heard it too. No, I heard it. Tarahack.com. Of course, www.offthechest.com.
Tara Plays Live. Tara Plays Live.
Send them to the event. Go to tarahack.com. Go to the event schedule. If you're going to be in and out of the city, make sure you're taking the correct route. You know what I'm saying? Check out for my homegirl over here. She's making things happen. She's bringing that flavor, that sazon to the city.
Definitely.
So, on behalf of myself, Presidential Powers, executive producer, Mr. Matt Fallon, Bad MF in the building.
Take care.
And of course, Tara, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Tara. Take care.
I'm going to be getting on out of here. www.offthechest.com. That is the home. OTchest.com.
Brothers and sisters, we're gathered here today to listen to a young man that's on fire. You're sitting in the church of the Reverend Charlie Murphy, and I'm going to bring it to you, your brother F5.